Welcome, everyone. This is Our Travel Experiences. I'm your host, Kyle Rasmussen. And today I have with me Andre. Andre, how are you today?
I'm Grant. Thank you. How about you?
I'm doing well. I'm very excited to learn more about your story, learn more about Ireland, Brazil, hiking, all these things that really drew me to your Instagram and your page in the first place. So it should be a very fun conversation.
Yeah, I really think so.
Cool. Well, let's just start. Just kind of give the listeners a background on your journey, and kind of how you got to Ireland and where you are today.
Sure. So yeah, I'm from Brazil and I've been living in Ireland for the last. I was into hiking and camping or outdoors activities before with friends because I always worked in like office, so corporate companies, and my day was basically sitting on a desk, sitting at that desk, and that was it. So I always enjoyed adventure travel and things like that. So I bought my first GoPro, and then that was kind of the start of everything. Like I was like, oh my god, I want to get out there. I want to take pictures, and with that, you kind of like find friends that are into it as well, and then I started from there. So camping a few places, going like joining groups,
Hmm.
going for trips as much as I could. So my life was basically every weekend I would just like fill up the gas and then go somewhere, and sometimes not even have a plan and just see where I would get in, and just like to see places. That was my thing. Like, and if I could see a new place and take a nice picture, I would come home and I'll be like, okay, that was worth it. So
Hmm.
that's where everything started. So, well, I didn't really know English, right? So in Brazil, it's like not a lot of the population speaks English properly. And for work, I decided that I wanted to study abroad because I wanted to get a better job, and that was the main point. So I wanted to study abroad for maybe a year and then come back. But life happened in Ireland, and it happens to for me to stay here. Now I have a family. I'm married. I have kids, and my life changed. That was the reason why I stayed in Ireland.
Hmm.
So, but the first point was I came here to study. So as a student at the beginning, like you don't really know where to start, but I was super eager. Like I came here with the dream, like, oh my god, I'm going to see the world. I'm gonna go to Germany, drive on the
Yeah.
motorway 300 per hour, and like do mad things with my GoPro, and I was like super excited. And but of course, the reality check happens as well. Like you're a student, you work part time,
Hmm.
and things are expensive, and that's not always so easy. So it took a while for me to adapt. I did some hiking and some exploring with a friend of mine that is also from Brazil. He was in the same situation here. So in Dublin, there are places that you can go. They're very close, which is fantastic. Like to me in Brazil, for you to go to the coast, you would drive like 1-2 hours just to get there. And then here, it's kind of like a coastal area, and then you can see like cliffs and have a cliff walk, which
Hmm.
to me was crazy. Like I was like, oh my god, that's so close. And we started exploring, let's say, Holt. That's like one of the main, it's a fisherman village, if you like. There's lots of there's like a mini market, for food, and there's the cliff walk that you could have like a short version or a long version.
Hmm.
And that's the place that everybody goes. It's busy every
Yeah.
day. Like after 10 a.m., every day is busy. If you want to get shots or drone or anything, like go early, go there like 8 a.m.
Okay.
because it's busy every day. It's like the hotspot there. I know. So of course that was the first place I've been because it's easy. You can get the train, and depend even if from town, like from city center, it would take like I don't know 40 minutes to get there. So it's very easy, and you could spend the day there, and there's lots to see. So I started going to these places, right? So Malahide, like there's Malahide Castle, there is Bray to Greystones, that's also a cliff walk. So there are places like that are relatively close, like 40 minutes, 1 hour by public transport. And it's amazing at first. Like if a person that don't know Ireland, they come here, it's like, I mean, now it's like 10 minutes from my house,
Hmm.
but, and I've been there like hundreds of times. But for a person arriving here first time, it's another world. It's super nice. So that was it for a while. And, but then, you're always eager to see more. And for a while I had to stop things for work. And I for a few years I was focused on improving my English, getting a better job, and
Hmm.
getting more stable, for to have things as well, to buy gear and stuff. And after COVID, or during COVID, actually, I was doing a lot of cycling, which was get back outdoors and do things.
Hmm.
So to me that was brilliant, because I I was limited, by public transport, because in Ireland, in town works, it works, but if you want to explore the island, you need a car, right? Yeah, like you need a
Yeah.
car. That there's no other way. Like if you really want to see the great stuff here, you need a car. So then I started cycling, which improved, like like not improved. It just gave me more places that I could see, because then I always wanted to get to know Wicklow. Wicklow is very famous. It's a beautiful place. A lot of movies and series like are filmed there, so it's really scenic. It's like it's unreal that it's just 1 hour drive from Dublin. So I started exploring these places, because cycling I could go further. So I joined, a group of friends, and we were cycling a lot. So I had like 1 year and a half that I was really into cycling. It's road cycling. So I did like 120k max. That was like the peak that I've done it. So going to Wicklow and back, it was amazing. So I started to see places and get familiar with them, and think like, oh, this place I could come back and hike here. I could, just take my time, take some pictures. So that was another step towards the outdoors, really. So after that, I had a little bit of a period of busy at work before I went back to hiking, like proper hikes.
Hmm.
So it was more this year, like last December, really, when I really started hiking. I went to Wicklow with the hiking group here, Hiking Club Ireland. I found them on Instagram,
Oh, cool.
and I was like, no way, there's a group. Like, because my wife, she likes hiking, but she won't hike 20 kilometers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not all your friends will hike 20 kilometers with you, because they'll be like, are you mad? Like we hike 5 kilometers and we go for a pint. Like we don't
Hmm.
do it here. So I was like, no way, there are other people out there, they're crazy and like me. And okay, let's go for it. And then it was by public transport, because in Ireland, when you really start exploring, if you don't have a car, you have limitations. And then that stopped me for a while. So when I found them, I was like, no way, there are people that know the way of public transport. Because I was afraid. I tried to go to Wicklow at some point when it was winter. I wanted to see the snow, and I got there, and people said, no, you can get a taxi up the mountain, but I don't know if you come back. And I'll be like, okay, that sounds crazy. I'm not going to do that. So I had a few attempts in the past that like a few years ago, and I just gave up when I was so close. And then I started exploring with this group, and I've been with them for a few hikes, and that was like the start of the sparkle. I was like, I really went back to it. I was overweight, like I don't know, I have I don't know in pounds. But in kilos, I was like my peak was like 104 kilos. I'm not
Okay.
sure how that in pounds, but
Yeah, I
that's
don't know either.
that's like if you know stone, if you know stones, that's a lot as well. Like I don't know, 16 stone or something like that. So I was heavy, and not fit at all, like comparing to before, like super overweight. So I went. I convinced my brother to call in sick, because I was like, look, this hike is 14 kilometers. I know it's ambitious, but I think it's gonna be great. And look at this place, and we can go with this group, and they know the way. We can get public transport. We get 3 buses, but we get there. And I convinced him to call in sick, because it's like, please go with me. Like, I don't know these people. Like, let's go. He also likes hiking, and he had just arrived in Ireland because he got here last year. And then he was like, okay, let's go. So then we prepared a bag. Like, I swear to God, like our bags had like food for 3 days. It was just a day hike, and then we just we overdid it. We just overdid it. I had like a 65 liters bag that was the only one I had at the time, and then I was like, well, that's it. Let's go. It was cold, and then we didn't know how it would be, in terms of like clothing. So we just went super prepared. It ended up that we carried too much weight, and everybody had like a very small bag with just like some water and snacks. And we were like, okay, we look. And anyway, like my weight plus the bag, it was a killer. Like, oh my god, it was hard. Well, we did it, right? So and I was so glad he was there with me, because we were like the ones at the back, like we're the slow ones. And I was like, thank God you're here, because I would be like, kind of, oh my God, I was going to be the only one behind. So,
Mhm.
okay, it was great, but it was great. It was fantastic. I actually like the cold. In Ireland, it's quite cold in general, and overcast, like the weather really.
Mhm.
But I enjoyed, and that was the start. So with this group, it was just like, okay, I don't need a car. I don't need to drive somewhere. It's accessible. So why not? Like, let's go for it. You just like pay a little bit, like just for your place there, like 1-2 euro
Yeah.
is super cheap, and you just guarantee your spot, and that's it. And the guys are amazing because they're from everywhere in the world. They're like Chile, Mexico, Spain, Brazil, India,
Wow.
Turkey. Like, there's so many people because they're focused on being accessible. Like Jose, the leader, he doesn't want to really go forward like right now, like and become like a paid group or something like with subscription or membership, because he wants it to be accessible to people, and
Mhm.
that's fantastic, right? So like every Saturday they go somewhere. Every Saturday for 4 years, 5 years they've been doing this.
Wow.
So it's really great. It's really nice, and then you meet people. So that's the main goal: to meet people, talk to them,
Mhm.
share the culture, share the stories, and it becomes nicer and easier, because sometimes we do crazy hikes. Like the longest that we've done was 25 kilometers.
Wow.
Like now I'll be interested in saying miles, because the guys there will be like, what is kilometers? That sounds
Yeah.
small. Let me Google it here.
I think 25K is like
5,000 miles.
14 miles, something
Let
like
me
that.
check. Oh yeah, that's 15.5
50.
miles.
Okay.
So that's a good hike, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
With
That's a
like,
good day.
let's say elevation. We do like 900 meters in feet.
Like 3,000.
Let me see, 900 meters. That's 2,952 feet
Yeah.
elevation.
Well,
No,
that's
that's
pretty
foot.
good.
That's foot. It doesn't. Well, I think it's so. I think it's yeah. So that's like a good hike, good day hike.
Mhm. Yeah.
And they do camping as well, where they do like double the distance when it's like camping. So some, like, say 12 peak challenge or something like that.
Mhm.
So no, it depends. Like there are easy ones and there are moderate ones and harder ones. So it depends. They publish on their Instagram, and that was the start of it. So then you get the bug. You just want to buy things all the time, and I know my wife is gonna she's gonna listen to this, and then she's going to be like, yeah, I know. I really know. So you just buy one thing and another thing, and then you start finding out, like, okay, this is too warm for me, this is too cold. And you, they started that journey of really getting into hiking
Mhm.
and buying the gear, like with the mindset of like, I'm going to buy this gear uh, forever, like to last forever, to last like years. And I have jackets that I have them for 6 years, and they're like brand new. Like you look at them, it's like you just bought them. So I like to buy things that will last instead of buying things that I might need to buy them again.
Hmm.
So I started with the bug, and then like, oh yeah, I need, no, just boots, it'll be fine. And then like, it's not just boots, next month you're gonna come up with some idea, and then
Hmm.
since then, every month I just like, oh my god, buying boots and waterproof this, waterproof that, Gore-Tex this, Gore-Tex that, and
Yeah.
watching YouTube and all that, because before I had some gear, but it was like from Decathlon. That's the standard one in Europe. I think it's French, and they had it in Brazil as well. So I had a few things. So I started just getting things, and really look into it. And I like photography as well. Like I had a few friends in Brazil. I had a dear friend that she's a photographer, and actually yesterday, okay, that's the crazy story. I think that would be interesting. I think people that are into outdoors, they would be like, oh wow. I told my wife, and she wasn't really into it. She was like, oh yeah, nice. I was like, you don't understand. It's amazing. So there was a time that I was a bit away from Instagram, and then I created like this current account that I have from scratch, because I just wanted to post hiking stuff and didn't want to share pictures of my kids or personal life. I just wanted to share hikes. So I kind of focused on this one, and left the other one just there. So this friend of mine, I met her like in 2010, and she's a photographer. And then, we ended up working together in Walmart, and so that's where like, we started talking about photography, and then sometimes we went to do some photo shoots um, in Brazil, and we went for a few hikes, and then we did like a climbing one that was like so dangerous. Like I look back and I think we were crazy. We could have died. Those type of days that you just do crazy stuff that at the time the adrenaline just makes you do it. And when
Hmm.
you look back after years, you're like, oh my god, like we shouldn't have done that. But
Yeah.
it, the crazy stories are the ones that are like evolving nearly dying. So the good
Uh-huh.
ones. So anyway, so her cousin, right? He's an adventure photographer, like and videographer. He works for a History Channel and Off Channel, and like he's like, I'm not really fan of anyone. Like, I don't really have like artists. I don't really mind about that. But this guy, I was always telling him, "Oh my god, I'm a fan, of your cousin, and he is amazing. Like I want to be like him when I grow up. I really do. Like please tell him he's badass, and oh, he's crazy, because this rock that we climbed is like uh let's see in feet. It's like 1,000 feet tall. This rock, right? And he and I saw one day that after we went there, and we noticed that it was dangerous on the way back, because it was, let's see the sunset, and on the way back was dark. So
Yeah.
that's why it was so dangerous. But then after a while, he was there camping on the rock, on the face of the rock, just sleeping there, pouring coffee and taking a picture. And I was like, this guy is insane. Oh my, what? Look, like
Yeah.
what? The hell? Like to me, it was like insane. I was like, how can he sleep on the rock? So it was like blowing my mind. So I always heard her talking about him, and becoming a fan. Even I've never met him. I really want to see him. So long story short, yesterday I was watching some reels on Instagram, and then it was like, oh, the first 37 Brazilian to summit Everest, and I was like, oh, nice. And I was just watching. All of a sudden, it's like Gabriel Tarso, and then I saw his picture, and then I stopped and was like, what? Wait, what? Who? I know this guy. Like, wait, hold
Wow.
on a minute. I know this guy. And he was like, Aline, is that your cousin? Oh my God, it's your cousin. And then she's like, yeah, he submitted Everest twice, and he attempted the third time, but he had an incident. He's alive, thank God. But he tried the third time, but the oxygen cylinder had an issue,
Mm.
and a bit more than master. But he submitted twice, 2021 and 22, when I was
Wow.
away from Instagram. So I was like,
That's amazing.
it's amazing, because this guy's history, he's
Hmm.
one of the first 37 Brazilian. So I told her he has history forever. Forever his name will be there. And then like I can't even believe that. Like I was always a fan, but now like a biggest fan. Like please, I want I I want a picture of him. Like oh my god.
Mhm.
And I had this chat yesterday. I just thought it was nice sharing because it's inspiration. I think
Mhm.
outdoors to me is all about inspiring people, and that's why I started the page. And you can see like I had no plan for today really, and then I'm here like super excited like a child talking about.
Yeah.
And so it was like, no, he's not my cousin, but he's your cousin, and we were friends for over a decade. So I kind of consider that I don't know person that has submitted the effort. So it's super cool.
Yeah,
To me, it
that's
was like, I mean, inspiring. I'm like, okay, that's it,
yeah.
and
Are
I'm
you
gonna keep it.
are you inspired to go climb Mount Everest now?
Yeah, so Everest would I'm realistic. I right now I think if I was able and I had the time and the money, and I would still be a bit like concerned, because
Mhm.
family and stuff. Like, of course, if I was maybe that's me today that I'm a bit like it would be too big for me right now. So I don't know. Maybe in a few years I change my mind. But
Yeah.
it's just like I really admire people because they're so brave. But there are many other people that I follow that they climb other mountains. So I think I don't know if I'll ever get to a position that I would be like, okay, I'm going for it. Like I've done everything in my life and that's it.
Mhm.
But by seeing people doing that, I think it's I really admire them. They're so brave because I I recognize that's dangerous. It's kind of a like, tourism thing as well. There's
Yeah.
that part. I follow people that are mountaineers, like real mountaineers, and some people pay 50 grand and go there. And
Yeah.
well, people have their own opinion. I try to think of the side of outdoors, feel healthy, get better, go out there, mental health. I'm all about that.
Mhm.
So I'm not. I don't think I know enough to even judge people why their motivations are. So for myself, I think it's too big for that. Though. So I'll keep myself like on the ground in the sense of like I have other mounts. I still have to finish the 14 highest in Ireland. So I'll start
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I was
Anyway.
curious. I noticed is it Irish Moonrose? Munros?
Yes. Yes,
Is
there
that
is a website. Mounting. Let me check. Well, there's a website, mountingviews.ie, and there you have a lot of options for lists, right? So uh, I found that website, and that helped me because on this website you can know like the let's say the mountains that are considered mountains, like above a certain
Mhm.
height, and the 14 the highest ones. So I got this list from there, and then on this website, it's really interesting because you can tick the ones you've done. So if anyone is interested, it's mountainviews.ie. You can
Okay.
create your account, and it just you can tick the box so you know which ones you've done it. It's good to keep track of it because if you keep track on the paper, or even on the phone, you could lose track of it. And
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. It keeps the information of the mountain. There's a lot of functionality that I didn't explore here, but it's interesting. So I've done Nugnaquilla. So Nugnaquilla is the 12th highest peak in Ireland, and it's the highest in the Wicklow range. So it's the state, if you call it, you call it counties here, but it's the state.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the highest one, and I've done the second highest one in Wicklow as well. That's Mullac Livon. So Nugnaquilla to me, I have a video on my Instagram of the day. I put the GoPro on my chest to record that one because like going after the excitement of the friend, the cousin. Let's go back to Ireland. So after I started, and I was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And I started exploring with the groups. And then one hike after the other, then I started seeing people on Instagram and seeing where they go, right? So I didn't have an idea or had no clue about Ireland. and where to start. And I started following people and posting pictures. So that's nice because then Instagram started like flooding my timeline with Ireland and people like going around, and it was brilliant. Like, following Irish people and where they go was very helpful to me. So when I saw Nug Naquilla, like, oh yeah, the highest in Wicklow. So you can't. I think everybody when they are into hiking, they want to go for the higher one, right? Like
Hmm.
it's some sort of like challenge with yourself, really. The mountain is there. That's what I love about it. The mountain is there. It's more a challenge. It's a personal in your head. That you want to do it, and then you get to the top and you say, "Wow, I did it." And I had it in my head and I was waiting for the opportunity when a hiking group would go there. So I finally did it. Not with the first group. So during this time, like since last December, I
Hmm.
practically, apart from February, I hiked every weekend. So I've done like, let's see, in miles. I've done. Oh, where is it now? I've done this year 248 miles hiking
Wow,
activities
that's a lot.
since January. So I literally went hiking almost every weekend, at least once, sometimes twice. Like I really got into it, and like I like to see new places. And some of the places I go back because like sometimes depending on the weather or if you're busy or something, then you just go close to your place.
Hmm.
So I started hiking every weekend, and that was my first group, which was really good for me to get to know people and how to get around. I like to record my hikes so I can do them again another time with even a friend or my brother, and I do that as well. So then I found the second group because there are different groups. So in Ireland, like I was saying, this group uses public transport. Was
Hmm.
really good to start. And then there are other groups that they have their own car and they meet at the trailhead. I didn't really go hiking with them because I don't own a car, so it didn't work out to get someone that lives close by that could give me a lift. I found the second group after I think 3 months when I was a bit better. Like I mean, a bit better is a little bit better because at the start I was struggling with my weight and you know
Yeah,
getting fitter. But I think that's normal. Everybody has their own pace, and that's it.
yeah.
And I found that was a little bit better. I found the second group, and the second group, then the things got more serious. So the
Mhm.
things got like, okay, these guys are going to different places because they have a bus. It's a group that you pay your membership per year, and you have insurance with Mountaineer Ireland. It's a bit more organized in that sense. So they've been hiking since 1991 or 1990 or something like that.
Jeez. Wow.
They've been around for a long time. So when I found them on Instagram as well. The name is Hill Walkers Club, and I love these guys. I really love these guys. They are amazing. Like the best people I've met out there. Like no joke. They're older, so when you look at their Instagram page, your first impression could be like, okay, this group is older, and like you could think like they're slow. No, they're not. They are not slow. They're like they're my inspiration. The inspiration just just more and more and more inspiration. So I
Mhm.
decided to go for one of the hikes with them, and I told them, okay, I'll try this group. They have a bus, so you just pay for your place on the bus, which is good because you don't need to do a loop. So you can do a hike that you start in one place and finishes the hike somewhere else, and the
Mhm.
bus will pick you up. That opens my options, and I started to do more hikes. So one day we finally got to go to Nug Naquilla, and that was like, okay, this is a special day. I recorded everything I could, and it was super special with these guys. They're so experienced. Their leaders are like from their own group, and these guys hike every Sunday, and a lot of them are retired, and they simply love hiking. They're so friendly. I've learned so much with them, and like places. There's a guy, Frank, and one day we were talking, and then he was like, he's been to more places in South America than I've ever been.
Wow.
like like he's been to Patagonia, he's been to Dolomites and Yosemite and all of this place in North America as well. And I was like, okay, I was from South America and I haven't been there, so clearly I'm doing something wrong. I need to fix this. Let's go fix this. So I started going around Ireland every weekend, and I did Naquilla, Mullaghclevan, and others there are like not so high, because Ireland doesn't have, like, the landscape in Ireland is at the highest peak 38 meters high. So
Okay.
in feet, that's like 3,405 feet. That's the highest. That's Cahanto Hill. I'm not sure if the pronunciation is right, but this is the highest one. So Ireland, the landscape is not super high mountains. We need to go to Scotland, for example, if you really want to go to some super ones. So, or
Okay.
Spain. Spain has also like high mountains. So in general, like they are challenging, they are nice, and I think it's great for people starting. I think the landscapes, like I said, they're scenic. There are a lot of movies. Game of Thrones was filmed here. Lots of series were Vikings. They were filmed here. So in Wicklow, you would see a lot of scenery and like lovely places. But you also find like places that are full of bog. I don't know if you guys know what's bog.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
so yeah, bog is a bit different than mud. So it's used for they used for like fireplaces. Like you can do like a process with bog, and becomes like not like the wood, but something like a fuel for fireplaces in people's house. So I've heard stories when hiking that people I've never used a gaiter in my life. I've never wore a gaiter in my life, and in Ireland, I learned what are they for.
Yeah.
I bought myself as well, and I was so glad I did, because you could just be walking and then you just flip, you just go down, and like you go down the bog, and I honestly, like, there are stories of people I know that the bog was that they went down into it, and it was up to their chest.
Jeez.
It's scary. Like the reality is, some areas could be 12 meters deep. So that's a lot. Like that's that's enough for you to never come back. So
Yeah.
you're in an adventure, and you're like, yeah, I'm enjoying this. And then the leader says, yeah, but please be careful, because there are some of them that are 12 meters deep, and then you could just disappear there. And you're like, okay,
Jeez.
that's okay. That's a contrast of the happiness that you have there.
Uh-huh.
So it's good. Like, I learned so much with these guys, because while exploring, taking pictures, getting fit, like I've lost 15 kilos. I'm so much fitter than I ever was. Like, my heart rate, like it's insane. Like I literally, I mean, like you go up the steps normally on the building, you're working, and you're just like, you feel so great about yourself. So while
Hmm.
doing all these, getting fit, taking pictures, um, sharing them, and people say, "Oh my God, you're hiking every day." Apart from that, I also met great people, and I learned a lot from them. And it's a little community. No, little no. Actually, it's a big community in Ireland. A lot of people like hiking, and it was also a humble experience with these guys, because I'm younger, but that I'm not faster than them at all, and
Hmm.
I know that. And there's this lady, and she's over 75 years old, and her name is Liz, and she's an inspiration. And everybody in the group says, like, we don't know how she does it, but she does. She literally, like, she doesn't walk, she flies.
Wow.
I swear. Like, and it's so inspirational, because I look at them, and some of them have been hiking together for 12 years, or they've been hiking 20 years. And that's a very long time.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, I don't want to be on the couch. I don't want to be on the couch. I want to get out there as much as I can. That's the balance I need because I'm in the office all week. It's super busy. I manage like nowadays. I manage a language school. We're busy. We have four schools in Ireland, and so it's a job. It's a lot of people, and it's really busy. So I like the balance of I'm in the office. I'm focused during the week, and that's it. We go for it. But then Saturday, it's nice because even my team, they're like, where is Andre now? Like it's Saturday morning. He must be on top somewhere, some hunting. He's somewhere, like where is Andre? Like I'm sure he'll post something soon. So it's
Uh-huh.
funny because even the guys around me, they know that already. I even found like one of the guys that worked with me on the way back home one day, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, like I saw you on this morning already, like there. I knew you would be out there," and it was nice. So some people even started hiking. Some people have joined hikes with us uh, last 2 weeks ago, and then this Saturday as well. There's some people that are coming back, and we're going to the north of Ireland. So I think to me, like exploring Ireland was never just about exploring Ireland. It was much
Mhm.
more like you can say like anything that keeps you going, but it's a lifestyle in the sense of you get to know people, you're humbled, you
Yeah.
you feel better if you're great. You see places like the scenery is amazing, uh, and you impact people's as well, and people's life as well. And maybe they go to
Mhm.
the gym because they see you every weekend you're out there. So maybe they start going to the gym because they're like, oh, I can do this as well.
Yeah.
So it's never just about the outdoors, but I think it's everything that comes with it. Um, it's like, I mean, to me, if I think like, why are we here? I mean, just to go to work and buy some iPhone and pay tax and go. That's it. I think to me it doesn't make sense. Whatever people
Mhm.
are into, they can do whatever they want. But to me, if I would try to find purpose, I find purpose when I'm out there. Like it's like if I'm here in this planet and life is called present. You live in the present.
Mhm.
Present to me is seeing a waterfall, even the rain. I love the rain. Like it's crazy, but last Saturday I did a hike with a friend, and it was raining. It did rain a lot at some point, but most of the time was just light rain. And to me, it's fantastic. I was wet, soaked, but that feeling of exploring places and seeing new places, it's just I don't think there's anything better than that. And
Mhm.
well, I'll let you speak as well if you want to ask me a question. I talk a lot. I'm sorry about that, but I talk a lot.
No, no, it's all good. I'm enjoying listening to you share your story. It sounds like you have been really inspired by others through hiking. So I'm curious, how are you trying to inspire others through your hiking adventures?
Yeah, so Instagram was my first to go. I started posting pictures from previous hikes in Brazil and places, and then I that it's like it's some weird thing that if I go there and I take a picture, that inspires me and excites me to go and take more pictures. So it's kind of
Mhm.
inspiring myself to inspire others. I don't know if that makes any sense, but to me, it's like the Instagram, like it's not about showing off. So I think like it's some journal, if you think, if you like.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like by having ideas to go out there to see these places, what motivates me is seeing new places. I love seeing new places. My brain just goes like see colors. It's like dopamine. And then I love seeing new places. So I think, inspiring other people is like, okay, if I go there and I have this experience, I'm going to try to translate that into pictures or videos to other people. And Instagram is my go-to because first, I want to go out there because I want to take them and share them. And then people are going to see this, and maybe if they like the same thing, or they might try, and they might, oh yeah, this place is good. There are people that start asking me questions: how to get to this place, how do you do this, how do you do that? And I love telling them, like, oh yeah, you do this, that's it. I give them tips, and they end up going, and they say, yes, it was amazing. And that's I think that's how I try, at least, like, by sharing my experiences. And last Saturday, I did something different. I was posting a lot of stories through the hike, and so it was like a 6-hour hike, and I
Okay.
was posting things. And then even at some point when things went wrong, I was like, okay, this place is too overgrown. And I was just sharing. Like, I was like, I'll try to do some storytelling, and a lot of people engaged. And I think people like to see, well, because people like
Hmm.
beautiful pictures and beautiful drone videos. And
Yeah.
I got a drone. I'm trying to do my thing because first, it's like a hobby. I like it. Uh, but then people also like to see real stuff. Like, it's just real. Like, oh yeah, you're there, and oh, this part is hard. Oh, it started raining. So
Hmm.
I think I will try to do this more. And I don't know in future if I will go to YouTube or do something like that. Maybe if it gets bigger and I do expeditions, I might try. But always with I just want to be myself. I just want to say, I'm Andre. I like hiking. That's what I do. For me to forget about my troubles and recharge myself. And I want to share this experience, and I want people to feel the same. I want them to experience that as well if they want. I bring my kids. I bring my kids, even when they're 4 years old. Since that young age, I brought them like hiking and doing stuff. My son is more into it, but my daughter is not. My daughter is like, "Can we go home now? Can
Yeah.
we watch a tablet?" And I said, "No, it's nature. Let's have a moment, nature moment." Uh, my dream is like going on a trekking with them, like, or a true hike or backpacking or something like that
Mhm.
with them. That's like my dream. I buy them things, like, trying to, I don't know, to be the cool dad, and yeah, hopefully long enough to be a cool granddad in future and be like, oh, my granddad was crazy. Like,
Yeah.
look at him on the top of the mountain, he's gonna die or something. Uh, well, I think that excites me, kind of leading by example.
Yeah.
Uh, in my job, I'm a manager, so I have my team. And funny enough, my team went hiking with me,
Oh,
and
nice.
that struck me because I was like, wow, like, these guys are following me into a hike. Like, I mean, would you go hiking with your boss? Like,
Yeah.
let me be honest. Like, I was like, okay, so I think I'll take that as a good sign, because first, these guys are inspired and they're going with me,
Hmm.
and I think at work we're doing something right, because, like, who would go hiking with their boss on a Saturday, if the guy was a pain in the arse? Like, so I took that as a good thing, that they were like, okay, if these guys put up with me all week, and then on a Saturday they still excited to go hiking, uh, I'll just take this as a, like, positive thing. And
Yeah.
it was
I'm sure it's
it was great.
it's a good bonding experience too.
Yeah, so I think inspiring wise, yeah, long story short is like, being an example and showing people it's possible. I always post about, like, that I lost weight. I have asthma and bronchitis, like, had respiration and whatever things, and I didn't let this stop me. So I think you don't need to be the Superman. You just need to be
Mhm.
the best, version of yourself, and enjoy it. Like, go out there because it's nice. Go out there because it makes you feel good.
Yeah. Yeah, it really sounds like hiking kind of helped you find your way a little bit, and help you improve your life, and um in different aspects, not just in terms of getting fit, but I know you mentioned in terms of like mental health, and things like that.
Yeah.
It sounds like hiking has been a big benefit to just your life in general.
Yes. Yes. 100%. Yes. And there, like, this is, I think this episode, people think like, okay, we spoke more about the experience and not like so many places. But about the list, I have plans to do like this 14, the highest, of course. And then there's another list that is like the ones that are classified as mountains. So at 275 in Ireland,
Wow.
and I have the plan to complete all of them. So as much as I can, like the next one I'm planning to do is Galtymore. It's closer than Kerry because in Ireland, Kerry, County Kerry has uh, the highest ones. So all the other highest ones are in Kerry, which they're so lucky about it. It's far from us, so you have to go there again, B&B or something to stay. So I have this plan like for future and exploring. I want to do at least the 275. I've done so far. Uh, let me. Well, the 14 highest one I've done one, and then the other ones I've done 15. So I've done 15 out of 275 so far,
Okay.
uh, in around 5 6 months. So I want to keep it up, and I don't have plans to stop right now. I really want to keep it up, and continue to show people places. There's a lot of places like Connemara, Galway, Sligo, places that are unreal. They are like insane. Like I have no words, but and I've explored mostly close to Dublin, like places that are around Wicklow, places that are easy to get to, and I've done some like Mount Morton. Let me get this right. No, Mourne Mountains. I've done one hike there, and this is in the north of Ireland. It's also like a region with nice mountains, and they're really beautiful. The landscape changed a lot from what we have close to Dublin because Wicklow it's kind of flat in a way, like the mountains are flatter or something.
Mhm.
Um, and in the Mourne Mountains, they are like they're steeper. You know, they're steeper. The landscape changes. And there are other places as well as Carlingford. It's not as far from Dublin, and the landscape changed. So it's one of my favorite ones. It's Leafoy. It's Carlingford Mountain. It's like a gorgeous place. The landscape change is like more rocky than Wicklow. Wicklow is more boggy and wet, and this
Okay.
place has changed. So I'm excited to see other places in Ireland for sure, and like I hope to continue growing the Instagram account, reaching to people and meeting people. And once all these in Ireland are done, I have plans to continue, to other countries, back in Brazil as well. Like this friend of mine, he has a tour agency in Brazil, and we're starting in Ireland as well. We had two groups so far, and that's the goal, to share with people, to share the experiences, to share the places. We want them to go there and feel that. So he
Mhm.
has this tour agency in Brazil for 6 years since I came to Ireland, really, and I've been to a few trips with them, and it's it's a funny thing because I'm here in Ireland and everybody in Brazil is like, "Oh my God, this place is amazing! I want to see it. I want to know. I want to go there." And I'm like, guys, look at you in this mountain, this sunset and the sunrise in Brazil. I want to go there and do all, because
Yeah.
they do a lot of mountaineer. When it's summer here, it's winter in Brazil, so
Mhm.
they're doing a lot of mountaineering this last few months, and I'm like dying to go there. I'm like, oh, that's it's so hilarious because they want to come to Ireland and I want to go to Brazil. I already told him one day I'll go to Brazil. I'll do all of them because at the time I wasn't fit, and now I feel more prepared.
Mhm.
So I want to go there like a month and do all of them. But yes, so like I don't want to stop just in Ireland. I do want to explore all of it. This island. I think
Mhm.
I really need to get my drive license sorted, so that will help a lot. But there's there are so many places in the world in general. So I'll start with Ireland for sure. But I think, I have plans for other countries as well around Europe. It's so easy to travel here.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, I want to. I like that. This is what I really love. I love cycling. I love cycling, and it's nice. And I met great people as well. Well, I think my real love is the nature when I can walk in there and stop sometimes and appreciate the place. And yeah, I like
Hmm.
hiking more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's very inspiring, and definitely seeing your pictures makes me want to go hike in Ireland and Brazil and
Oh,
all
thank
these
you.
other places for sure. I'm curious if you could only pick one hike that you haven't done, that you want to do, which hike would be first on your list?
In Ireland, the highest one, yeah, Carhanto Hill.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, the highest one, because there is a way that it's something. I think it's the Devil's Ladder or something. It's a dangerous place, and I've seen pictures with this group, the group that I'm part of. They went there when it was snowing, and it looked sketchy and dangerous. I'm not going to lie, it looks really sketchy. But I was like, oh my god, I just joined the group after they did that one, so I'm dying for them to put on the list again. If Frank, please, if you listen to this podcast, please add it to the list. I really want to do it. So I think, like, not just for being the highest, but also the views are amazing, and it just looks like challenging. So I want to challenge myself on that one. So I think that will be on the top of the list for now, and I'm pretty sure that after that there will be others. But yeah, that will be the one.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, all of this sounds amazing, and I'm really excited to see how it's hiking has really helped helped your life, and change your kind of perspective on life a little bit. Is there any last little bits of information or advice that you would give to people who are maybe looking to hike in Ireland?
Yes. So if you guys like, if you're a person that's starting and you don't have a lot of experience and you just want to test it out, let's say you don't want to invest too much in gear into things, and you just want to kind of like low budget, because if you're a student or I think Hill Walkers Club, no, sorry, Hiking Club Ireland on Instagram. Jose is the leader, also with Francisco and Guilherme. So these guys are the main guys, and they're super nice. Jose is from Chile. He's a hiker, like he's so strong and he's so experienced. He's a nice guy. So it's really low budget. So €1 to €2 if you want to join. You just have to sign up on the link that's on their Instagram, and that will give you a feeling of Ireland, and it's safer because then you go with people. I think depending on where you're going to start, if you have no experience, go with the group because it's fun and it's not as dangerous, to get lost, especially in winter. Summer it's a bit easier. It's bright until late in the night, but
Hmm.
if it's winter, go with the group. So if you're a more experienced hiker and you like hiking, like proper hiking, getting dirty and tired, Hill Walkers Club is a great choice for you. No, it's accessible as well. Like you can get a bus, and with them, it's like €20 to secure your place most of the time. Sometimes a bit more depending on the distance. But these guys are amazing and so experienced, so nice, and I always had fun with them. And now I'm also talking about them, but like, on Instagram, if you look, Amazing Trip underline IE. So that's the company I'm starting with my friend. And this is a mix, right? So this is a mix between adventure travel and hiking. So sometimes we'll do some activities that have a bit more hiking, but not as crazy hikes. So it's more for
Okay.
people that want to go hike and take some pictures, but it's kind of a tour as well. So we did, for example, Glendalough, the White Route. That you also have food trucks and different things. So it's not one or the other. So uh, the other groups that I mentioned, they're like hikes. So you just go hiking, you bring your own things. The tours that I'm doing is more like trying to mix it. So then people that want to get to know specific places, for example, this Saturday, we're going to the Stairway to Heaven in the north of Ireland and Marble Arch Caves. So it's like you have a tour with the caves, the local guides, and then you have a coffee shop and bathroom break, and then we go to the trailhead, do the trail, like 10 kilometers, like around 3 to 4 hours max, on a very slow pace, a very chill pace, taking pictures, having fun. I will look into like having like harder hikes in future if there is enough people that are interested. So yeah, if people want to get started, that would be like my three options that I could advise people. You can always go with friends. You can always go with friends, and people like rent a go-kart and enjoy as well. But sometimes people are a bit confused of where to go. They're not sure, about the trail or you know, the and
Mhm.
then they don't have a group of friends sometimes. So if you don't have a group of friends and you want to get started, I would go to these Instagrams and have a look at it and see what suits you, and just really get out there. I think just try it
Yeah,
out.
yeah. I think it's all the different resources you just mentioned. I think that makes it so much easier, especially for people that are new to the area, like you, how you said you found this club, and now look where you're at. Um, it's fun to meet those people and get connected with people that maybe have that experience and knowledge to help show you the ropes, so to speak. So
Yeah.
I know. Uh, Hopefully, I'll get to Ireland soon. But when I do, I'll definitely hit you up and see if I can go on one of your
Reach out to
trips
me.
as
Reach out
well.
to me. I'll show you around.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah,
Send me a
definitely.
message, and I would be really nice to meet you in person. And then we decide on a hike.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I love hiking. I've done a lot. I've been very lucky where I live in the U.S. to have lots of hiking accessible.
Mhm.
And so I would love to do that with you and get to see you in person and go on a beautiful hike in Ireland and get to see a new part of the world.
Yeah, 100%. And also here, the great thing, I don't know how you guys do in the US, but here, the thing I love is we always go for a pint after the hike.
Uh,
So it's like
that's the
we
best
hike,
part.
we walk a lot, and then the hike finishes on a pub. There was a pub that was on a hill. I swear
Oh
to
wow.
God. We're just on the mountain. We went down the mountain, and then at the end, the bus was waiting for us on a pub that was just on a hill with a view. And I was like, this is the very Irish experience. This is the
Uh-huh.
true Irish experience. You get a pint of Guinness at the end of your hike. So what else do you want?
Man, that's the dream right there.
It is like it is chicken wings and a pint. Like that's like that's like
There
a
you
real.
go. That's funny. Yeah, that sounds amazing. So we'll definitely have to do that soon. But Andre, thank you so much for sharing your story, your journey,
No problem.
for sharing a little bit about hiking in Ireland, different resources that are available to people there. I'm really inspired by it. I know the listeners will be too. So yeah, thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you somewhere around the world soon.
Amazing. Thank you so much for inviting me. It was a pleasure, having this chat with you. And I was listening to some of the episodes, and they're really inspiring as well. So I'll definitely be listening to the next episodes. And yeah, hope to see you in Ireland sometime soon.
Yeah, we'll definitely make that happen soon. Well,
Okay.
Andre, have a great rest of the evening, and we'll talk soon.
Okay. Thank you. You too.
All right, bye. Hey everybody, Kyle here. If you enjoyed today's show and want more, you can always check out every episode on Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, and now Amazon Music as well. Just search for Our Travel Experiences on any of those platforms and it will pop up. You can also find everything all in one place on my website, ourtravelexp.com. And if you want to see my travel pictures as well as travel pictures from guests on the show, you can check them out on Instagram. The page is called Our Travel Experiences Podcast. And if you want to share your own pictures on the Instagram page or be a guest on the podcast, you can message me via that Instagram page or email me at ourtravelexperiences@outlook.com. I would love to see your pictures and hear about your travel experiences, so please send them my way. And if that isn't enough for you, make sure to check out my weekly YouTube show, From Around the World Fridays. Every Friday, I'm taking 5 to 10 minutes to answer questions from listeners, share some souvenirs that I bought over the years, share my postcards over the years that I've accumulated, or share videos and pictures from one particular city or country that I visited, and so much more. So check it out, guys. You won't be disappointed. And make sure you go subscribe to that as well. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you somewhere around the world soon.